I'm no stranger to the rain.
Keith Whitley epitomizes country stars who died too soon. He was just 33 years old when he drank himself to death. It was May 9th, 1989, and there was so much potential for a man that many still believe had the finest voice in country music.
My wife has me convinced that she loves me. But when Keith Whitley does that calls, when he drops that whole octave, that woman cannot remember my name.
It's really so hard to appreciate how his death rocked the country music community. But I count 5 hitmakers who died younger than Whitley, including 2 more country music Hall of Famers and 2 others that have a very strong case.
And as I put my arms around you, I can tell you've never been this far before.
That's Conway Twitty, and he's in the Hall of Fame. Here's a real mind-blowing stat about Conway. He was 59 years old when he died of an abdominal aneurysm in 1993. At that point, he had released 58 studio albums and another 10 with Loretta Lynn.
And she knew I saw right through her tight-fitting jeans.
Hello, Darlin' was another of his 40 number 1 songs. When he died, it was like a machine gave out. At Taste of Country, we've put together a list of the 40 stars who died too soon, and this video will touch on the most popular and the most tragic. Gary Stewart's death by suicide in 2001 and Dottie West's fatal car accident in 1991 still sting. Eddie Rabbitt and Roger Miller both died of cancer at age 56. So too did this legend.
Now we call it the Cadillac Ranch.
Chris Ledoux was a rodeo star turned country music star in the 90s, and as much as anyone, he held tight that thread between his sport and country.
Walk before you take this cowboy's hat.
Of course, Garth Brooks paid tribute to him on Much Too Young in 1989 and Good Ride Cowboy in 2005. Liver cancer killed Chris Ledoux on March 9th, 2005.
Country road saints, take me home.
A plane crash killed John Denver in 1997. He was only 53 and seemed primed for the kind of second act that artists like Brooks and Dunn have enjoyed recently. His best years were in the 70s and 80s, and if you think about it, he was a soft sort of outlaw at a time when grizzled rock and country music were leading. I went deep into John Denver's life and death in a separate video. I've linked to that in the description section below. Troy Gentry was just 50 when he died in a similar way. The Montgomery Gentry singer was taking a joyride in a helicopter that crashed prior to a concert in New Jersey in 2017. You'll soon find out that small aircraft crashes are amongst the most common ways that country stars die young. I count 7 of them. That's second to what I guess I'll call natural causes, although in some cases a heart attack or similar was brought on by a lifetime of drug and alcohol abuse. You can count Lefty Frizzell in that group.
I love you, I'll prove it 1,000 ways.
He had a stroke in 1975 and died at age 47, but a lifetime of alcohol addiction led to his poor health at that still young age. Left untreated, addiction and mental health issues can be fatal. 4 artists on this list of country stars who died young died by suicide, including songwriter Kyle Jacobs, cult hero Mel Street, and early 2000s hitmaker Mindy McCready.
I need 10,000 angels.
A single event took the lives of 3 country hitmakers before they reached 50. Cowboy Copas, Hawkshaw Hawkins, and Patsy Cline all died on March 5th, 1963, during a flight from Kansas City to Nashville. Bad weather was partially to blame. Cline was just 30 years old, but like Keith Whitley, her potential was recognized. She'd be inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame in spite of a very limited catalog.
I go out walking after midnight.
At the start of this video, I mentioned that there were 5 younger than Keith Whitley, and I just mentioned one of them. Don Rich was another. He was Buck Owens' right-hand man and a pioneer for the Bakersfield sound. Sadly, Don died at age 32 in a motorcycle accident. Singer and songwriter Luke Bell was also just 32 when he died of a drug overdose in 2022. The others on that list were Hank Williams and Graham Parsons, who died at 29 and 26 respectively. Both were historically influential, although Parsons' influence was in that space between country and rock. and thus he's not celebrated in the same kind of way as Hank, who is known as one of the fathers of country music.
Say, hey, good looking, what you got cooking?
Finally, it'd be a real injustice if I finished this video without mentioning the other godfather of country music. Jimmie Rodgers was just 35 years old when he died of tuberculosis. It was May 1933.
T for Texas, T for Tennessee.
Links to mentioned videos and articles are in the description section below. And if you liked this video, I think you'll enjoy this one as well, about country stars who killed their own career. I'm Billy Dukes for Taste of Country. Thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing.